Here's my message to all the New York City migrants. Beggars can't be choosers. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about several New York City migrant families refusing to go to a shelter in Brooklyn because it's not nice enough, it's out of the way, it's inconvenient, all this, that, and the third. They want to go back to the Roosevelt right there in Manhattan, the 4- and 5-star iconic hotel that is now a migrant encampment. They want to go back there. They want to go elsewhere. They want better accommodations. Now, this is crazy because I was told that these are asylum seekers and they're trying to find a better life in the United States, and they're trying to flee poverty and violence and bad living conditions in their countries of origin, which go all over the world. We ain't talking about just Mexicans. We're talking about Africans, Asians, Europeans. The entire world is coming here through the southern border, and they get flown, bussed, walked, whatever, given a car ride to wherever they want to go in the continental US of A, maybe even to Alaska, Hawaii, wherever. They go wherever they want to go, but our accommodations aren't really good enough. Now, is it about trying to find a better life? Is it about trying to seek asylum, or is it about something else? At this point, I can't tell, but really I can. And before I go any further, let's watch the news clip. If you want to see this clip in full without my commentary, link as always will be in the description. If you're on IG, visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
The opening of the new migrant shelter at Floyd Bennett Field in Brooklyn did not go as smoothly as some officials had hoped.
Several migrant families that were bused to the facility refused to stay there. They got right back on the bus. Briella Tomasetti at Floyd Bennett Field. What's going on? How is this possible?
Yeah, it is possible, Rosanna and Dan. Clearly, the situation is not ideal here. It's a transit desert. It is far from everything. It's not clear.
I mean, look, it doesn't really matter how ideal the location is. It doesn't matter how nice it is. It doesn't matter about any of that, because I thought the whole thing was about seeking asylum. Are we trying to seek asylum, or are we trying to go just infiltrate the country, trying to work, just trying to circumvent the whole process of becoming a legal immigrant? Not illegal, illegal. You should just go through the process to become a legal immigrant rather than going around it to be here in a semi-legal status to ultimately live as an illegal alien.
Close to where parents have to take their kids to school. The bathrooms, the showers are outside. A long list of concerns. I could go on, but 23 families with children were expected to arrive here yesterday. Not all of them obviously stayed. A spokesperson for the mayor's office telling the New York Post that while some migrants did reject the site, another bus load of asylum seekers arrived at around 2:30 yesterday afternoon, and they did opt to stay. Less than an hour after the first batch of migrants arrived at Brooklyn's Floyd Bennett Field, families boarded the bus that took them there and went back to the Roosevelt Hotel Intake Center. City Council member Joanne Ariola, who represents neighborhoods in Queens, posted on the social media platform X that migrants refused to stay for various reasons, such as location, conditions, and the proximity of the schools where their children are registered.
Let's pause for a minute. So we got people going to work, people going to school. I mean, are these citizens of the United States, or are we talking about asylum seekers, or what's going on? Like, I thought that they were not here as citizens, but we're going to school and work. How does that really happen? That's part of the problem right there. But I'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Let's keep on rocking and rolling.
State Assembly member Jamie Williams was on site and echoed those concerns.
It's a very isolated area. When you came in, you have to come all around. So it's not a place where you put women and children, and then the facilities is just not, friendly, especially in the middle of the night if a child or an adult have to get up to go outside of the tent to use that bathroom.
Floyd Bennett Field was first proposed as a shelter site months ago. The former airfield space is owned by the federal government, but Governor Hochul is footing the $20 million bill. The makeshift shelter has enough room to house 2,000 people, but the proposal was immediately met with intense pushback due to
let's pause for a minute. Now, I wonder if you had legitimate homeless people, not just drug addicts. That's a different story. Legitimate homeless people, people dealing with serious issues in New York City. What if they were given this space rather than illegal aliens? Matter of fact, that's what I would do. If you are seriously having some problems with finding somewhere to live and you don't smoke crack for a living, you get to stay here. I think that they would appreciate that more. I mean, there might be some heating, there might be some shelter. It gets real cold in New York in those winter times. I think they would like this better than living out there on the street just doing nothing. But maybe I'm wrong. Let's keep on going.
Due to its inconvenient location, lack of mass transit, susceptibility to flooding, and more. Fox 5 toured the site last month. There are 4 dormitories, a tent for registration and for people to connect with caseworkers. Another tent will be used as a cafeteria, but communal bathrooms and showers are set up outside.
This is not, best conditions, but we're managing the crisis. And can I say any better that we need help?
Meanwhile, Mayor Adams toured the site last night, doubling down on his calls for more federal assistance. The mayor's office sent out a statement saying, in part, with more than 65,600 migrants currently in our care and thousands more continuing to arrive every week, we have used every possible corner of New York City and are quite simply out of good options to shelter migrants. No municipality should be left to manage a national crisis almost entirely on its own. It's not fair to New Yorkers, and it's not fair to asylum seekers. The city has set up more than 200 emergency shelters since the crisis began, and 2 large-scale relief centers, one outside the Creedmoor Psychiatric Center in Queens and another on Randall's Island.
Big problem is the situation that New York City is in. And so, again, a site like this is needed because we don't have anywhere else. If we have some other places, I'd love for people to let us know where.
You know where they could go? You know what? I have a great place. Matter of fact, you know what? Hey, let's just pause for a minute. You're asking a very good question, and you're asking the general public. If you have any other better options, let you know. Okay, how about their respective countries of origin? Send them back. Send them back to where they came from. How about that? We don't have anywhere to put them, so why must they? Look, if we don't have anywhere to put them, then why are they coming here? The ultimate solution here is to shut off the flow of the so-called asylum seekers at the border. Close the border, build the wall. That's the solution. As I've said many times before, live streams, videos, and everything else. What we're doing right now, we're trying to mop up water that keeps flowing from overflowing toilets, sinks, or whatever. How about let's stop the toilet from overflowing, the sink from overflowing by cutting the water off? Maybe that might make sense. Maybe if we did that, then there wouldn't be any more water to mop up. But maybe I'm using too much in my brain, and I guess that's frowned upon in 2023. But let's continue.
They are.
The Legal Aid Society toured this site a few weeks ago and wrote a long list of concerns to the city about why it is not suitable for families with children. Representatives were back here again yesterday. They are doubling down on their calls for the city to pull out of this plan. But the question remains, with people already moving in, is that even possible at this point? For now, though, we're live at Floyd Bennett Fields. Dan and Rosanna, back to you.
So, Briella, before you go, I heard those people who refused to stay at Floyd Bennett now are on their own.
Well, there was actually a person who was working here and coordinating the people getting on and off the buses, Rosanna. He told our reporter who was here yesterday that they were going to the Roosevelt Hotel, which was the intake center. So it's unclear really what the deal is here, if they're going there, if they're going somewhere else, if they're getting on a bus and they're on their own at this point. The city has really not given us too many answers as to what's going on, so not so concrete.
So they probably want to go back to the Roosevelt because that was the really nice place, the 4 or 5 star hotel that they transformed into a big bando, a big trap house. They want to go right back there because they right in Manhattan, right in the city center. Everything's moving and shaking. They can go do what they want to do. That's where they want to be, rather than being out there and kind of in no man's land. They want to be right where the action is. I mean, who doesn't want to be there? Okay. If you are living in New York, matter of fact, let me come back so you can see me clearly. If you live in New York, where would you rather be? out far away in Brooklyn, or would you rather be right downtown, right in the mix, where everything's moving and shaking? I'd love to be down there. I mean, if I like New York City, which I'm not really a fan, but if I like big cities like that, I want to be right smack dab in the middle. Give me an apartment on Fifth Avenue. Now, how much will that cost? A lot of money for a regular citizen. But if you come here illegally or call yourself an asylum seeker, you can get free accommodations. And it's so crazy, as I close, if the accommodations don't suit you, you can protest and have people that live in the city advocate for you to get better accommodations. Isn't that lovely? But hey, man, you a homeless veteran, you done fought and lost limbs and everything else with this country. Well, hey, man, get out the way, man. Get off the street. Stop being a bum. That's pretty much the message that we're getting, unfortunately. And I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on what's happened here with the migrant crisis in New York City, and a lot of these migrant families refusing to go to the shelter that was provided for them in Brooklyn? Oh, it's too far away. It's a transit desert. The bathrooms aren't nice. I thought they were seeking asylum. So which one is it? Are you seeking asylum, or are you seeking beautiful accommodations? Are you seeking asylum, or are you seeking tourism? Are you seeking asylum, or are you seeking money? Are you seeking asylum, or are you seeking a way around the regular immigration system, around the regular system of economics, paying for where you want to be? Like, if you want to live in Manhattan, you got to pay the Manhattan price. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is completely ridiculous and entitled behavior, but it's being enabled by people in the city. Some of these guys got jobs. How are you working the job if you're not here legally? Some of these guys got kids in school. Like, everything that they want that a regular legal immigrant has, they have. So what's the purpose of them going about things legally? There is no purpose. All the incentive is for them to go around it this way. That what they're doing right now is the new form of legal immigration in their mind, although it's technically not. But if it's not, then I can't tell. And whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.